Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Happy Friday. Give yourself a round of applause. It is a gorgeous morning, but apparently this may be the last good day, and then it's supposed to rain for the rest of the weekend. For those of you getting out there to do the golf tournament, today's the day. Go do it today because tomorrow it may not be nearly as nice. But happy Friday to everybody. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. You know the number. Most of you know why you need to call. Some of you are having a hard time because your financial advisor is putting the heat on you. And you know what's so funny is the amount of calls I've gotten in the last 30 days been amazing. You're starting to find out how much it really isn't your money. The just to get access to what is already yours, what they try to put you through, the guilt, the shame, the making you feel like you're an idiot. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, that's how you know, right? Because if it wasn't that way, they'd be, oh yeah, no problem. I got plenty of clients. Listen, it's so much different than you think. And I got a great show for you. We're going to have a great time today. I'm in a great mood. I got a great special to go with it. And it always makes for a great Friday. I do want to say this. Obviously, hopefully, all of you, and I don't care where you're listening, Phoenix, Colorado, right? You're listening on the podcast. You're listening on KXXT stream. You're listening on 1360 stream. This show should sound much, much better. We've got our new thing. And I told you, listen, we're working on so many things. This thing just gets better and better by the day. But we won't have Fake News Friday today. With the new, I guess, my new abilities here at the studio and how we talk to KXXT. They've got to do a few more things on their end because right now you can either get me or the person on the phone, not both. But they're going to be able to do it. It's just a matter of getting the engineers out there and plugging this in and unplugging that. I don't know. Push this button, not that button. But Ramon and I made an executive decision. I was going to play against Arlene. But there was no way I was risking that. All right, losing to her it'd be horrible. She'd be walking around the office with a big head, talking about how great she is. I couldn't risk it. She was probably going to beat me. So no Fake News Friday today. And we are closing in on our new version 2 for that. So get ready. And I know it's not as fast as I want it to be, but sometime this year. Going to be my new head. Sometime this year, we're going to have a version where you guys will get to play against me and win some hard assets. How about that? 800-951-0592. That's our toll-free number. The website at allamericangold.com. It is the best out there. Listen, we're not like everybody else. We're not. And I hope this, listen, we've been doing this 23 years. And I can tell you right now, we've got hundreds and thousands of people that have been with us the whole time. The whole time. We got people that, hey, they've been our customers 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 23 years. One of the actual, what I call, there's a group of you out there that I consider to be the originals. Back when way before I was here. Still ordering today. And one of them, matter of fact, jumped on those 63s yesterday. What a great special that was. Got another one again today, so be ready for that. What do I want to talk about? What do I want to say here? That's right. The website for the radio station in Denver. You can start writing this down. I believe at some point today it'll be up. It's going to be 1360 1360khnc.com. 1360khnc.com. Now that I've said that, it probably won't happen, but we're that close. I mean, we're right there for that. And get involved and get on board. And all of you people, we got new programming coming. Yeah, we got it coming. It's all happening. We got new advertisers coming. Get ready for that. We're so excited. It takes time. Get involved. Get involved with that station up there. It is going to be truly going to be the heart of Northern Colorado. We're just super proud that we've been able to take it here, take it over, and keep it going and keep the lion roaring, and a lot more things coming down the pipe. But today we had jobs out today. We had wholesale inventories out today. We had consumer confidence out today. And I will say this. We got a little bit of everything for everybody. And we're going to break it all down and share all of it with you. Just as before, we won't go into detail. We got the break coming up. The jobs number was huge. Huge number. And then, of course, but inside the number, things look a little funny. But, hey, I'll give it to you. There's a big revision in the wrong way from the month before. But then wholesale inventories, consumer confidence, nobody's sure. Are we growing? Are we slowing? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? What's all happening? We got it all for you and a lot more. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592. Before I get to the jobs number, and it was huge. I mean, it was incredible. It was awesome. But I got to give you the special today because it is what it is. You never know. Every day I don't know what I'm going to get, right? So we walk in, we do our phone calls, we do our emails, right? And we wait, right? You know, and you're waiting. And, of course, I get here early, so I'm actually in the office before the people that got to tell me what it is are in the office. And about 15, 20 minutes before getting on the air, I got the one I wanted. And yesterday, it's not as good as yesterday's. I'll just say that. Yesterday, we ran those Mint State 63 Saints, and they're all gone. At $1,425. I mean, you're talking about $85, something like that. It was $80 or $85 off. Awesome. At the time, I told you, listen, that's our regular 20s yesterday for $1,445. Now you go out to the website today, it still says $1,445 for a Saint or a Lib. Today I got the email. It's not. I don't have 150 of them. You know, I don't have that. But we do. We've got about 70, and I'll just tell you what they said to me. So it just says mostly Saints. So just keep that in mind. And at this price, it doesn't matter. But mostly Saints. Could be some Liberties. So these are going to be $20 gold pieces again. Don't freak out on me if you know, as a guy, hey, I ordered 20 and I wanted all Saints and I only got 18 Saints or 16 Saints. It's mostly Saints. They didn't give me a number. They just said mostly Saints. And this is coming from a guy I trust explicitly, said a lot of these, this is what he said, look like they're BUs, right? Which means, you know, hey, man, some of these, they look gradable. But that's not how we sell it here. I'm just telling you, these are going to, according to him, these things are going to look awesome. The price is what makes me happy, right? So $1,445 is regular price on the Saints and the Liberties. Today, until we're out, and we should sell out, $1,410. I mean, you got gold right now at $1,318. So we're what is that? Help me do math. $80, $90, a little over $90 over spot. But if you buy 10 or more, $1,400. I'll allow for one person to buy 20 of them for $13.95, but only one of you, because I want everybody to get an opportunity. $20 Saints, mostly. I don't know what that, I'm sorry, I just don't know what that, mostly. Really good looking. 14-10, 1 through 9, 10 or more, $1,400. The first person who orders 20, and that's what I won't sell you more than that. If you order 20, one guy, $13.95. One gal, $13.95 at 800-951-0592. I told you, I'm in a great mood. These are great time. Right? We continue to get the higher highs and the higher lows. Everything really kind of looking like it's going to be going gold and silver's way today. I don't know if you go out to our website today, David Morgan's out there. Great art, great. It was a video. And, of course, for those of you that don't know David, but David Morgan is there's gold bugs. This guy is the silver bug of silver bugs. He knows more about silver than anybody else out there. Says silver is going to $30 again. And he said this is the year it's going to start rolling. And I've been telling you, listen, I was telling you that all towards the end of last year. 2019 is the year silver is going to start catching back up. Little brother's going to catch up to big brother. Right now, silver's sitting right at $16 today. I do have a limited amount of Silver Eagles, and these are going to be a smattering. I got some 2019, some 2018, some old stuff. About between what I got here and what Colorado, we got about a case. $3.85 a roll on Silver Eagles today, 800-951-0592. Now that we've paid the bills, let's talk jobs. What a number. The January jobs number, shattering expectations. Remember, so did December. They said 304,000 jobs were created despite the quote unquote partial government shutdown. The unemployment rate went higher. Kind of a weird deal. 304,000 jobs. That's an incredible number. That is an absolute incredible number. The unemployment rate jumps to 4%, which kind of says, hey, more people now are looking for work. That was the good news. That's kind of where it ended. Wages missed. They were expecting, and actually, because it was the first of the year, so I don't know how many states, but something close to like 20 states and or big cities all raised the minimum wage in January. Wages were only up 0.1%. Let me tell you what 0.1% equals. 3 cents. 0.1% equals 3 cents. That's what the government said you made. So congratulations, everybody. You got an extra 3 cents an hour. Average hourly work week, unchanged. That number was like something like 34 hours a week is the was the number. Here's where it went the other way. December, which was originally reported at 312,000 jobs, it got revised down to 222. So how you missed by 90,000, I don't know. I mean, we do have, I keep saying it all the time, we do have computers. And we could just get the actual right number, but no, let's, they got to make it up and they got to do their seasonally adjusted stuff. So nonetheless, that is that was the number. So 304 took 90,000 away from the month before. Now, let's hope that doesn't happen when they report next month. But that was kind of how the jobs number broke down. Now, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to, and I can't find it now. There it is. No. The internet, I got to know how to work it. I know it's horrible. Let me find it. I apologize. It's live radio, so I should find something else to talk about. So I want to tell you inside the number. So 304. How did it break down? And again, I don't, most of it was leisure hospitality. So that's your bartenders again, your waiters, your waitresses, I guess I don't know, tourism season somewhere. Maybe here, I guess, right? People coming out and spending some vacation time out here. Here we go. So here's the number thing. And I apologize for allowing me to stall there. So I was like, wow. I mean, I was not expecting a number anywhere near that. I was thinking more somewhere, like the normal, somewhere around 100 and, say 170 to 200,000 like we always get. So inside the number, they said, first of all, the government shutdown had no effect. Obviously, right? If we're going to create 300,000, maybe we should just shut the government down completely. I've been telling you, we just got too much government. They may want to be careful, but here's where it got interesting. Because remember, they do two different surveys. They got the household survey, and then they've got the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics number. In the household survey, employment measured by them actually fell 251,000. The BLS says we created 304. The employment survey says, no, it was down to 50. That can happen. That is why, by the way, the unemployment rate went up. So the BLS says this is the government's number for jobs created. The household survey is what gives you the unemployment rate. They're supposed to kind of track the same thing, I thought. But the reason why the unemployment rate rose was the household survey said that the actual people working fell by 251,000. Now, that can happen, I guess. And it does. And I've been doing this a long time. That happens, right? And again, I will keep saying it. Why don't we just use the real numbers? It'd be so much easier, right? And we know, and they have them. They just don't give them to us. But yet there was one number that really caught my eye, because I think this defines the entire economy. This is why there's no wage growth. This is why the numbers look so good, yet don't feel as good, and why the Federal Reserve is having their hard time. According to the notes of the BLS, so this is the government, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of persons employed part-time for economic reasons. Now, this is very important because there's plenty of people out there that work part-time because they want to, right? Wendy's a great example, right? Wendy works for me. She only works Monday and Tuesday. Why? Because she wants to. Right? So that's not this. That's not what the BLS, they track that number as well, but this is not this. This is, in other words, this is someone saying, I'm working part-time, but I wanted full-time work. It increased by 500,000 people. So you think about if we created 300,000 jobs, right? The household survey said there's 250,000 less people working, and then the BLS comes back and says, oh, by the way, the number of people working part-time, not because they want to, jumped by 500,000 people, it gives you one of those reports where you're like, well, I don't know. Right? I don't know. What is that good or is it bad? And I say this all the time. This isn't the jobs reports that we are so used to, right? The world has changed. The jobs have changed. We're getting rid of full-time benefit work and replacing it with part-time contract, no benefit jobs. And the BLS, by the way, that number hit a new all-time record high. We have more people today working part-time for what we describe as economic reasons, which means I'd rather work full-time, but I can't, than we have ever before. So there was the number. It was a good headline number. Inside of it, there was job creation they even said 50,000 construction jobs. I don't know that one's kind of hard to believe, but okay. Nobody made any money, and a lot of it was part-time. Patriot Radio News Hour. We're going to be back talking about government debt when we return.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, presenting a daily conservative pro-family perspective since 1983 and continuing the legacy of Phyllis Schlafly. Now here's the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
For the 22nd time since 1975, an impasse between Congress and the president resulted in a partial shutdown of non-essential government offices. Like the 21-day shutdown in 1995 and 96, this one occurred over the Christmas holidays when little government work was being done anyway. Members of Congress went home after failing to approve a modest down payment on essential border security. Thankfully, President Trump stood strong for building a wall along our southern border where over 100,000 people crossed illegally just last year. Of course, the Republican Congress should have addressed this long ago, not days before they lost the majority in the House. It should not have required a successful GoFundMe fundraising effort for the wall to prod the House to finally authorize $5.7 billion to fund it. Some Democrats refused to support a border wall merely because Trump supported it. As Senator David Perdue, Republican of Georgia, said, I talked to 4 Democrats who said, look, if you just stop calling it the wall, we're in. Democrats have thought that a shutdown always works to their advantage, but that calculation changed after Republicans benefited from the Schumer shutdown last January. Trump had generously offered to sign legislation protecting the children of illegal aliens, but his offer was rebuffed by Schumer and Pelosi back then. Democrats claim they support border security, but what they really mean is money to process thousands of bogus claims of asylum by people hoping to land in the great American safety net while they wait for their claims to be heard. Trump has outfoxed the asylum industry by requiring claimants to remain in Mexico while they wait and before they come to America. To reinforce his commitment to protect Americans first, the president also announced plans to withdraw troops from Syria, where ISIS has been decimated, along with a reduction of our involvement in the 17-year no-win war in Afghanistan. We fight for the border of other countries, Trump tweeted on December 22nd, but we won't fight for the borders of our own? Amid the Democrat-caused shutdown, Trump delivered to the people of America the best Christmas present a president can give, leadership to make America great again.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report with Ed Martin, president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. What's the latest on building the wall to protect our southern border? To the liberal media, it's a joke, but the crisis of illegal aliens is no laughing matter. At phyllisschlafly.com, we're asking serious questions regarding what to build, who's paying for it, and how best to deploy our military. Go to phyllisschlafly.com and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
800-951-0592. And a lot of, for the newer people out there, maybe you haven't been listening to us for 23 years. Why are you buying gold? What does gold do for you? Right? And gold is insurance, right? Kind of, like your car or your health insurance. Right, you buy it in case something bad happens. And when something bad happens, it's expensive. Right? I mean, it's expensive. And what does it insure, though, right? We know the car insures the car, right? You know, the health insurance for your medical bills. What does gold insure? The answer is it insures your wealth. I'll say the Federal Reserve note for now, until they change it. But it protects you in your wealth, whatever amount you set aside. Okay, let's just say today, by the way, still haven't sold the 20. So if you want $20 gold pieces, one person, because I want to have enough stuff for everybody else, $27,900 delivered, or you can pick up either way. You're setting that aside, or that dollar amount, you're setting it aside. And just think of it this way. Whatever $27,900 would buy today, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, you could sell those gold pieces back, and it would buy the same equivalent. As an example, you look at a house today. It's $300,000, right? That's not even. I laugh because $300,000 is not. Hey, I just bought this $300,000 house. It's not like it's the Taj Mahal. Right, that's going to be, an average, nice, and it's not. Don't get me wrong, you're not in the slums. Well, it depends on where you are, right? I mean, if you're a lot of parts of the country, that is the slums, but you're not living high on the hog, right? I think we'll all agree with that. That's a fair assessment. You think about needing $300,000. I mean, you'd have to have over $220 gold pieces set aside. I mean, could you imagine what it's going to be like in the future? But here's the thing about gold, though. That's what it does when they don't really mess it up, right? That's what it does when it just is the usual slow devaluation train that we've been on. Right? Remember how I talked about, hey, how do you go bankrupt? It was slowly at first. It was gradual at first, and then it was suddenly. Same thing. During the gradual time, this is what gold does. 1971, a $20 gold piece was $42. Today, it's $14.10. If you buy 10 or more, $1,400 for one person, it's $1,395, but they're $1,410 from 42 to 1410. It's the exact same thing. It was the same coin that it was in 1972 that it is today. Think about that. What $42 used to buy you in 1971 costs $1,400 today. I mean, and you don't, it's hard to think about it that way, but that's really what it is. 1971, you spent $42 at the grocery store. You had 2 carts filled to they were overflowing. Today, if you want 2 overflowing carts from the store, right, yeah, you're going to spend $1,400. I mean, some of these places, I don't even know how we do it. The cart's not even half full, and it's $400. That's what it does during the normal time. But what does gold do when it's not normal? See, and this is the thing that I'm trying to get you to understand. I told you, what was it, a week or two ago in Venezuela, if you had a $20 gold piece in Venezuela today, you could buy a house. Could you imagine? You need 200 plus $20 gold pieces to buy a $300,000 house here. In Venezuela, you can buy 200 houses. You know, and I got to tell you, I did not, this isn't my work. This was done by Jason. You know, Jason and Brian, they do great work. People forget the last time the government changed the money. 1933, these $20 gold pieces that we're selling you today were $20. And then the government took it all away from you. Well, from us, from our parents and our grandparents. After they took it away, they changed the price to $35. So you think about that, was a 75% jump in the price of gold overnight. At $1,320, and that's what spot is today, $1,320. You're talking about something that we're selling today for $1,410 that overnight would be worth $2,300. The last time they took the money away from us, the last time they changed the money. So when you sit there and you're thinking about the insurance that you're buying, and I tell you it's wealth insurance, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. It's nice that gold, well, you know, if you bought it in 1971, it's $42, and today it's $1,400. That's nice. But I'm more worried about the suddenly part. Right? That's the gradual part. And honestly, right, gradually, listen, we're going to be going probably a lot higher than 2,300 before the suddenly hits. But speaking of that, who is buying this debt that we've been selling? I've got that one for you next. You're not even, well, you will believe it. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back when we return. 800-951-0592. So the month of January just ended. It's the 1st of February. The debt on February 1st, 2018 was $1.5 trillion less than it is today. So in 1 year, it's now up $1.5 trillion a year. Remember, at the end of the fiscal year last year, I know they said the little number was, I forget what they said, 700 something, whatever. But the real number was 1.297 or $1.3 trillion. So you can see how already just a third of the way through here, and it's already up another $200 billion. How quickly this number is rising. Right, so unofficially now we're at $21,970 billion something. Who's buying it all? Because you got to remember, not only do we have to sell the new debt, all the other debt that rolls over has got to be sold again as well. Right? Because the vast majority of the $22 trillion of debt we have rolls over every year. Like most of our debt is sold in 3 months, 6 months, all the way up, I would say, through the 2 years. Right? If you take all the treasury sales 2 years or less, that comprises the vast majority of the debt, and that is always got to get rolled over. So like this year, probably $10 trillion of debt needs to be sold. Right? They don't want to tell you that part. Oh, well, it's $1.5 trillion. No, it's really 10. So who's buying it all? Now, this is not my research because I'm not this smart. Another great, you talk about people you want to, if you want to get really good information, Wolf Richter. Not Wolf Blitzer, not the guy on CNN. Wolf Richter does a great job. Wolf Street is his website. I go there every day. He doesn't post a lot of stuff, but he usually posts something every day. So today, he was breaking down who is it that's buying it all. And when he went in, and again, the Treasury, they released this stuff. You just got to be able to dig through thousands of pages. You got to know where to look. All foreign investors, okay, so just group them all, were net sellers of marketable Treasury securities. And I like to use the word marketable because you know what's in the Social Security Trust Fund, non-marketable, right? Because they never actually bought anything. Net sellers of $105 billion, according to the Treasury Department's data released today. Okay? So they didn't buy. Matter of fact, they sold. So you got to add that to the list, right? Now we got to sell all of the $1.5 trillion, all of the rollover debt. Oh, and plus another $100 billion from the foreigners. China and Japan were the biggest sellers. China by $55 billion, Japan by $47 billion. But all foreigners combined, they bought less. So who, again, was the big buyer? By the way, China and Japan now own less than 10% of U.S. debt. That's the first time in at least recent memory that they've fallen below that level, and it keeps shrinking. By the way, here's the list of the holders. So China 1, Japan 2, Brazil, Ireland, the UK, Switzerland, Luxembourg, Cayman Islands, Hong Kong, Belgium. And I know a lot of what? You hear that most of these are tax havens, obviously, right? These are probably businesses that are using some form of tax haven and buying securities. And listen, I tell you this all the time. Businesses the big business, they don't keep their money in the bank. Apple doesn't keep all. I think Apple keeps it all, and who knows? Apple's got $200, $300, $500 billion in cash or whatever. They buy bonds because the bank, they know that money's not theirs. So here's, by the way, the Federal Reserve, they sold $200 billion. So now you add another $300 billion to it. So who were the buyers? The government, pension funds, Social Security, whatever, they bought $20 billion, right? So I'm assuming that probably for pensions for the government workers, Social Security, they're actually dipping in to the trust fund. So that it's not them. So who is it? According to Richter, the very largest American banks. Hedge funds, pension funds, mutual funds, and other institutions, along with individual investors in their brokerage accounts or at their account with the U.S. Treasury, were huge net buyers. Everybody else was a seller. According to Richter, the largest banks, hedge funds, pension funds, mutual funds bought $1.36 trillion more in Treasury bonds. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. And I know that can get complicated. I'm going to uncomplicate it for you. Your bank, my bank, our bank, the people that hold your pensions and your mutual funds, they are now the largest holder of U.S. debt in the world. It's now surpassed 34% and rising. And it kind of really makes you understand now, all of a sudden, Jay Powell talking about we're not going to raise rates anymore, because the higher the rates go, the worse these buys are, right? Because they bought most of this stuff at super low rates. It's not good for them. But here's what's even worse. This just means, and this is what I've been telling you, all of this is debt. You put your money in the bank, you put it into the debt market, because what does the bank do? They loan it. You're buying stock, you're buying the company's debt. That's what you're doing. You're buying a mutual fund. You're buying an annuity. You're buying debt. That's what it is. That's the instrument that it is. They're all the same instrument. I know they like to tell you how it's different. Be diversified in debt. Now, it's still debt. I don't care what type of debt it is. It's still debt. And now, essentially, what you have is a system that's feeding on itself. None of the foreigners want it anymore. And now we're even more vulnerable to the suddenly. And this is why it's suddenly. Make sure you have truly the true diversification, which is why you need to own gold, why you need to own silver. And this is a huge reason. This is a big problem. It really is. It's a huge problem. There are no buyers. So they're stuck buying it themselves. And think about what they're buying. I mean, most of it's short term. Right? So they're buying stuff that yields what? 2 to 2.5% maybe. That's it. That's what they think the best place to put their money is. That tells you how overvalued. Why wouldn't they be out there buying the stock market and buy this? Because it's no good. They know. 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number, U.S. $20, mostly Saints. I've been told that these things are really sharp looking. Doesn't even matter, right? That's nice. Doesn't mean anything. 1410, 10 or more, 1400. Still looking for that one guy. You want to buy 20, $1,395 at 800-951-0592. U.S. Silver Eagle rolls. I got a limited amount. Probably maybe 15 rolls between here and Colorado at $385. 800-951-0592. Everyone have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday.